Tired of watching shadows bleed, fighting for nothing but a need. The seventh fall is on my knees. Their sighs and secrets cover me.
Welcome. You're listening to Mystic Moon Cafe Radio.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Mystic Moon Cafe on this lovely Wednesday night. I don't know about my co-host, but I'm very, very happy that it's October, which means Halloween, ghosts, and other monsters.
Yay! I agree too.
Me as well. And as our friend Chris in the chat room is there, fall is coming to Missouri, like tonight. So
Right tonight. It's like, an 802, it is there. Or
Yes.
902, yeah.
I gotta say, so up here in the Pacific Northwest, it started, like 2 weeks ago?
It's very chilly.
Yeah,
Very
it's like,
chilly
it's
here.
in the 40s in the morning now. We had a frost, where the kind you had to, kind of scrape it off the windshields.
Uh-oh.
I know, right? It's a little early this year.
Yes.
We had snow. I went to the mountains this past weekend for a wedding, and it snowed on us. It
Was it bad?
was like 8 inches.
Oh, that's all. Jeez.
What?
Oh, I mean, they got the roads off pretty good. Then,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, the interstate and stuff like that was just fine to drive across the Cascades.
Do you have chains?
No.
I was wondering.
Well,
Because
because
I don't have chains either, and I really should have some. but
Well, I
I
was
don't.
gonna say we're in Seattle. It's not like Wendy where you're gonna have like a foot of
Right.
ice and 3 foot of snow, and you need that traction. We, our stuff melts in a day.
Yeah, that's true. Unless we go over the mountains every day.
No, that's true. Yeah, but I don't.
Don't either.
I'm all urbanified out here in the
Yeah.
in the Puget Sound area.
Me too.
Well, that I was thinking, man, it would suck even if I had reliable transportation to come out to see you guys, because not only don't I have chains to cross the mountains, I wouldn't know how to put them on even if I did have them.
No, me either. Does AAA do that? I wonder
I
if they
don't
put
know.
chains on.
I know they'll come out and rescue you.
Just say, you'd rescue me more if you put on these chains. Oh well.
There we go. Real drivers just don't need chains.
Yeah, that's
Here's-
true.
Well, I'm not a real driver then. Let me tell you, I'd take the bus if I could.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Wait a minute, the kid who came from Wisconsin?
Yeah, you better believe I hate driving. It's not me.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's the other jagoffs on the road. Let me
Yeah.
tell you, if you don't know about
I'm
Washington
the same way.
drivers, they don't know how to signal and they don't know how to merge.
Because they're also freaking into themselves.
And that's true. They do
That's
just
all I have
like
to say.
let me tell you, it's like this is the rule here. And I read the driver's what do you call it? Just in case I had to take the permit test. Sometimes when you trade in your license, they make you take the written test. So I got the pamphlet,
I had to, yeah.
and it said, simply turn your turn signal, let it blink for 5 seconds, and then change lanes. So everyone lets the thing blink for 5 seconds, and then they just go left or right. I'm like, really? I actually got my driver's license in Chicago. I am ready to combat. If you've been on the Dan Ryan or the Ike during rush hour, it's like, demolition derby. Let me tell you.
I can't even imagine.
Mm.
Oh
sounds
my
a lot
God.
like Johnson County, Kansas drivers.
Yep.
Yeah, we got
I
fewer.
like
They got fewer pickups in Chicago.
Ah,
that is true.
That's true. I'm not making fun of anyone. I'm just stating a fact.
oh, I was.
Okay.
Had a problem.
All right.
It's gonna get in your face.
Oh, that's right. Kansas style. She's going to bring the KC out on my ass. We both, all of us have kind of had shitty past weeks and stuff, so this is going to be probably a little loopsy. I should put some bourbon in my Fresca or something, let me tell you.
We need a little Bailey's.
Mm-hmm. Hey, people.
Bourbon and Fresca sounds like something that would make you throw up pretty quick.
Pretty much, yeah, so I wouldn't do that. I just was drinking Fresca. I'm like, what do I have over there? It says, I see bourbon. Okay, that's, all right, we're going with it. But you're right, this would probably work good with a vodka or a tequila or something like that.
Sounds really good, actually. Yeah.
From
So, tonight's show is a paranormal potluck, which means we're just going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff.
yep,
Yay.
not just snowy roads and
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We
Like
might
that.
actually talk about something paranormal.
hillbilly drivers.
What?
Whatever.
Spectral hillbilly drivers, moonshine runners.
Oh.
Yeah.
I had a friend tell me that story once.
Ooh, tell us.
He was driving in Utah, and he was driving on this old off kind of road, and he said that all of a sudden a car came up on them really, really fast. And it kept like getting closer and closer, and I mean like 10 inches away from the back bumper. And he and his dad were in the car, and they were getting a little scared because this guy was getting really, really reckless. And pretty soon, this driver just kind of looped around them, and he said when they kind of got side of his car, it was like two kind of, hillbilly looking guys, but they were really dark. And he said they both got these chills really bad when they saw him, and the car just kind of looped around them and kind of slowed down a bit, and then sped up a bit, and then slowed down a bit. So they were getting a little freaked out, so they hung way back. Now this road has no outlets. It's Utah. It's straight ahead until you get to the highway. Well, all of a sudden, in the middle of the road, the lights just disappeared. They thought they were pulled off the road because it was night. And they kept going and did not see them at all with lights on. And it was one of those moonless nights. And so they just think it was the ghost car that they heard so much about that was supposed to be in that area that kind of appeared and then disappeared. But it was really creepy. I'll never forget that story because he told it really good, and I can't tell it that good. But it gave me goosebumps when he told me it.
Is this kind of like a Christine phantom car?
I don't know. I hear these stories about ghost cars that all of a sudden just appear and then disappear.
Yes. Yeah. Probably even saw something on like Supernatural or something.
Oh yeah, Supernatural did have an episode. It was like the third or fourth one in the first season. Yeah, totally.
That scary truck or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was a truck. Yeah, and it was because someone killed someone and some vengeful spirit kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right, exactly.
The usual.
Yeah, when we're talking, it's always those damn specters out there that cause the trouble. Freaking specters.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those things that I always have a problem with, like ghost cars or ghost objects that aren't living.
Well, ghost and living.
It's one of those things.
Inanimate objects.
Yeah.
Inanimate objects.
Stuff.
Stuff. So I always think about that. It's like, but really, if it had intelligence, if it was like Christine, that's a whole other story. But, if it was a haunting where it was, just kind of replaying over and over, I can see that. But not something that all of a sudden, has intelligence and can go up beside you and look at you like, I don't know.
That would lean more towards demonic possession, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not even sure we believe in that one. So.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
I love demonic possession.
Me too. It's my favorite Friday activity.
Yeah, okay, well, so, let's get into the whole paranormal thing then. So let's talk about, remember 5 years ago or so, right before Conjuring and all those movies took out, you had, like, The Haunting of Emily Rose or The Possession of Emily Rose, and everyone was getting possessed by the demons, and there was always it was the same movie replicated over and over again, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be based on a true story.
Yeah.
Based on a true
story, yes.
It's all based.
Artistic license taken.
Yeah, docudrama. Docudrama.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but then you get the real fun people like that man in, golly, I forget exactly what city it was, but he thought his son was possessed by the demon, so he poured boiling water down his throat.
Yeah.
Oh,
And he killed him.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
He thought his son was possessed by a demon, and in order to get that hot sin out, he had to make it hotter and pour some boiling water down this poor kid's throat and killed this child.
He was just hyperactive. That's what little boys do.
All children are possessed by the devil.
That's true. Damn demon seed.
At some point, yes.
But it's just like another damn religious zealot, or religious nutcase,
Mm-hmm.
Out there, doing more harm than good. Just irritates the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started. No.
Well, in all the shows that it's a demon, it's a demon, it's a demon.
Yeah. let's be real about the ghosty shows, though. When it comes to demons, like, it's a dark entity. No one is being held down, you know, and having demons beaten out of them on the reality shows yet.
True. Very true.
That'll be next, probably.
Yeah, that's next season.
Yeah. We need more ratings.
Meanwhile,
It's like, damn, I need subscribers to VidiSpace. What am I gonna do?
Oh, I know.
This'll bring the viewers in.
Yeah.
It is amazing to me, though. It's just like, now how many shows out there are, you know, it's like, what is that one? One of the shows got an EVP that said, you know, I'm a demon or something like this. And I was like, you do realize that if you are a religious person and following the Bible, you know that demons will not let you know that it's a demon. They will actually try to take the appearance of a child or one of your loved ones to pretend they're somebody else.
I'm Grandma Sarah. Please come closer and have a cookie.
Come to the dark side. We have cookies.
Come here to Grandma.
Grandma's eyes have always glowed red, sweetheart.
It's so I can see you in the dark.
Oh my God. But you know, a demon, and also too, some of these people said, the demon said its name to me, and it's like, the demon would not say his name. That's supposed to be like Rumpelstiltskin.
No. We saw The Conjuring 2 or one of those, and Lorraine Warren was sitting there with the Bible, and the Nun Valak demon came up, and she's all like, tell me your name, and she spelt it out in the family Bible.
Right. So it did not tell her his name.
Yeah, well, she had to spell it out somehow, so I guess she used American Sign Language, I don't know.
I think so, you know.
She signed it. Okay.
But you know, it's just getting ridiculous. I mean, and then the people. Let's start on the people. They are calling themselves demonologists now.
Oh yeah, let's talk shit. Let's go.
Yeah. Some of these people have watched all of Ghost Adventures, have watched all and read all of Ed and Lorraine Warren's books. Now all of a sudden they're a freaking demonologist. And, you know, I got an email the other day from somebody that said, you know, you probably need a demonologist in your group. My rates are very, very good.
What?
Yeah.
You know what? I am the demonologist of my group, and I am exorcising you from my
Demon, be gone. Be gone.
Ooh. That we could put that in canisters and make it a spray. Demon be gone.
Demon be gone. Oh, that would be funny.
It's good for halitosis too.
Put our sage spray in that demon canister.
That's right. Oh, is that lavender and sage? Now we shouldn't be like throwing on Southern accents for this stuff. Okay,
sorry.
that's not
sorry.
cool. It's not just
yeah,
this. There's plenty of the stuff that goes down, you know, in New York City.
Yeah, we can talk like this too.
Yeah, Philly. You know, there's other places this stuff happens. We would make fun of Seattle if we had an accent.
We have an accent here?
Well, they do say, okay, for example, if I go to my local Trader Joe's, this is not an endorsement of Trader Joe's. However, Trader Joe's, if you would like an endorsement deal, please contact us at mysticmooncafe@gmail.com. Thank you very much.
I'd love to, actually.
But I have heard them say, and it's only a few words, they asked me how many bags I'd like.
Really?
Yeah, the locals, the townies up here.
I'm not a local.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I'm an import, but they say egg and bag. Egg, bag.
We're gonna have to ask Ross to say some of these things and just really notice and see how he says things.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really. I would say the other thing you could tell someone's from the Pacific Northwest if they can actually pronounce the town names.
That's true.
That's true.
It took me a while.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a while when I first moved out here. It was pretty hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, especially when I had to write out patient cards when I first came to work at Reproductive Technology. I have to say that, in Seattle. And I was writing out patient cards, and my boss started laughing because the person told me they lived in Redmond, but I wrote down Red Man. Everything was Red Man. I had like 20 different people from Red Man. It's Redmond.
Redmond. Yeah.
But anyway, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But I'm not quite getting the nuance there.
Redmond.
Redmond,
Okay.
not Redmond.
Yes, not Redman.
Or Raidman.
Yes.
There's
Puyallup. I mean.
Well, that one can be said a few ways. So.
Yeah.
Even by the locals. Puyallup. Puyallup.
Puyallup. I usually say Puyallup.
I usually say Puyallup as well.
Yes, but yeah, Wendy, if you come out here and try to read some of these little city names, it's just like, how in the heck are you supposed to say that?
Yeah.
Well, I like when I'm reading like your posts or like Gretchen's posts or something, because Snoqualmish or
Snoqualmie, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was close, but
You're very good.
Yep. I try to watch the shows and things that people from that area are on and can actually pronounce them, and then I'll go, wonder which one that was.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
beautiful places, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. It's just you don't know, like Sammamish, Issaquah. We did Snoqualmie. There's the ever popular Cle Elum. The one that gets everyone is Squim. Yeah. Squim is probably the one. If you get that one right, people know you're from the Northwest.
Because it's spelled Sequim.
It looks like Sequim.
Yeah, Sequim.
Yeah.
But it's Squim.
Yeah. Squim. And there's plenty of other ones like Tenino. Yep. I always said Tenino, but.
Or even Alki,
Oh,
Alki.
yeah.
Really Alki.
Yeah, Alki.
People will say Alki.
Yeah, Alki. I'm like, Alki, but no, Alki.
That's what I said when I first came out here, and people laughed at me.
Mm-hmm. We got names, but we've moved from the paranormal unless we're going to put some kind of spectral tribe warrior with these towns.
There actually probably are. Every single one of them, I'm
probably,
sure, have major haunted places, and we probably investigated a lot of them too.
Mm-hmm. But
in
since
Tulalip, we had a really good investigation out there.
Where?
In an old resort in Tulalip, Washington, outside of the Tulalip Casino.
Oh.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yes. We have many casinos, restaurants, and they all have really good music. Like all the bands that should have retired 20 years ago are always touring our casinos.
I love them. I love seeing all of them.
Well,
we're seeing the ones that aren't around anymore, like ABBA.
Well, I mean, but they've got cover bands.
Yeah,
so I guess you can.
Yeah,
I do love a cover band, especially 80s hair metal cover bands. Yeah.
So much fun.
But we are trying to do paranormal, and this is fun. Yeah. But, we have to make sure the audience actually understands what we're talking about. So...
Probably.
Yeah, we've had some ghost hunts recently. June.
Wow.
Let's talk about some ghost hunts and walkthroughs.
I've had so many things going on lately. What are they? They're all like. I'm trying to think of everything.
I guess we could.
The Centralia ones?
Yeah, we could go back because that's coming up. That's 10 days away. The Centralia is doing a ghost walk through the historic downtown area. Yes. So I think it's Tower Avenue. And you start at, I don't know what the path is going to be, but you're going to do things like the Fox Theater, the Shady Lady, Bead Opus, a bookstore that I can't remember the name of.
Bookstore, yeah.
Anderson, and isn't there another place, or is that about it? They're on the Ghost Walk.
I think that they're going to actually do they were fixing it up, so we didn't get to investigate it. But I think they're actually doing the Masonite.
Oh, the Masonic Temple.
Thank you, Masonic Temple. Yes.
Yeah.
So another really cool place. Unfortunately, we did not get to investigate it, but hopefully next year.
And the last one we did was the Fox Theater. I know I think you have to buy tickets for the Ghost Walk. I think it's. If you just search for like Centralia 2019 Ghost Walk tickets, it'll take you to, was it the brown paper bag site to get the tickets or something like that? And
for everything. I think they were like $20 a piece. I am not.
Yeah.
Right, but
I'm
it's gonna include a few really cool things. So it sounds like it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to see it.
I know. You guys will get to, because I'm on the road, but I think a ghost will be there to show off evidence.
Evidence. That evidence. I'll eat your soul, June.
Those EVPs we got in the bordello. Yes.
Just take it away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Or they'll go like, "Girl, where'd you put that soul? What's going on?"
You know, I drive a soul.
Oh, that's
I
true.
always have a soul with me. Even if I lose my own, I still have a soul.
She's still got a soul, and it's cherry red, cherry bomb red.
It's my red soul,
Mm-hmm.
and Scott and Jennifer bought a black soul. So
Oh.
they, so we black and red souls.
Mm.
It's very sweet.
So we've got those investigations, and I don't know the setup for it, but I think people come around to the buildings and you show off evidence.
It kind of sounds like we're going to be positioned in each kind of our different areas, and people are going to get to ask us questions, and we're going to talk about the things we found.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really hoping that I can finagle my way to the Shady Lady
Mm-hmm.
and do that one instead of, like one of the others.
Yeah.
I mean, the Fox Theater would be nice, but
yeah,
I'd rather do the
Well,
Shady Lady.
I was going to say, I mean, Ghostly has the ghost reports on it, so I guess all you'd have to do is pull it, as long as you got Wi-Fi connection, just pull up the site and play the videos and EVPs.
Oh, that's a really good idea. You are so awesome, Jake.
It's important to share your evidence. Pet peeve. Jake's pet peeves. Jake's ramblings.
No,
Why?
it's really irritating. A lot of these groups, they get some amazing evidence, and all of a sudden it's like, where does it go? I mean, they don't have it out there, anything. I mean, we have it, out there on our website too, but Jake has an amazing blog that he does with all the different places that we have investigated, that he's investigated. So yeah, you got to check out ghostlyactivities.com.
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool.
Because I'm just like, if we're here to prove the existence of ghosts, because we haven't done it yet, thank you very much. I don't care what anyone says. No one has proven there are ghosts yet.
No.
And no one shares their evidence. I'm just like, and when I do see it, it's always like 5 years old and it's an orb. I'm like, okay, I can see why you don't maintain your site anymore, because you put up a freaking orb.
Yeah, and it's it's not even like a glowing orb
that
is like casting off its own light.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you can look at it and go, oh, God. Really?
It's like someone just sneezed in front of the camera. I know snot globules when I see them.
Yes.
Yeah. Jake's rambling end.
I understand though.
Yeah. But you did like the Dominion tug, which is in Ross's book.
We really didn't investigate it this weekend.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, I've investigated it before, and in the book Haunted Ships and Lighthouses by David Weatherly and Ross Allison, there is a segment about the Dominion tug, and this is a really, it's a Class M tugboat from World War II.
So what does Class M mean?
You had to ask me that, didn't you, Jake?
Well, I mean, you said Class M. Everyone's going to be like, is it going to tow a destroyer? Can it tow the Turner Joy?
It can.
Okay. It
can tow a lot of things. I don't think it can tow that now, because it's just, it's been in, it's been in pretty bad disrepair for quite a long time. It's been falling apart. But it is, it's just this historic, it's such a historic little tug. It has had, it's gone through World War II. It has, made many trips up to Alaska. Used to take like some movie stars up to Alaska.
What? Even. Really? I've never heard that.
Yes, Buddy Hackett. What's her name?
I've just never heard of a tugboat like taking that kind of trip.
Yeah, it was like, it was just all sorts of things like that. It just has so much historical significance. There's only two, including the Dominion, only one other tugboat like it in the whole entire world.
Oh, hot damn.
So yeah, it's a historic thing that they are trying to refurbish, and it's taken a lot of time, and but so far, I mean, they've done an amazing job on it. It's just really cool, really incredible. And I mean, it's still got a long way to go, but it is a really incredible place. And sorry, my throat's really clogged up. But
it's
the owner
demon.
I know, the demon got caught in my throat again.
Again? Didn't that happen just last week?
It did.
Not today, Satan.
Not today. Thank you. Oh, stop it. More southern. But when we investigated it, we had a few interesting things, but the most interesting was it was about 4 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't sleep. Ross and Philemon, they had gone to sleep. And it was just the 3 of us on board at that time. And so I'm in the other room, and I'm kind of doing an EVP session when I hear loud footsteps walking down the gangplank towards me. And I thought, oh, Ross is probably coming to check on me to see how I'm doing. That's so sweet. Nothing. I was like, where is he? And I go and look, and I can't. They're both sound asleep, snoring away. And I was like, I know, I heard very loud footsteps, and nobody came to check on me. So that was really interesting. Just got some really weird readings, but the captain of the boat, when he was in the lower part of the tugboat, all of a sudden he said he saw a man that was wearing like an old sailor's uniform down there and kind of rushed towards him and went right through him.
Oh, wow.
And he said it freaked him out quite a bit, because he wasn't expecting it. And yeah, so a lot of interesting little stories like that. But it's a really cool little tugboat, still in pretty bad disrepair, but it's getting fixed up. They are doing amazing job fixing it up. So very happy to.
I like it. Yeah, when they bring back the history.
Exactly.
Yeah. Any other? I mean, because last ghost hunt I did was the Fox Theater with a ghost, but I know there's something this weekend. I know there was a walkthrough. Any other good leads for ghost hunts coming up this month?
Let me see. The biggest thing is, of course, is getting through the Centralia thing on the 12th. And then we have
I'm pulling up our events too.
I was like trying to.
Yeah, we got there's one in Woodinville. Oh, this is the thing I'm most looking forward to. It's not even a ghost hunt. We're gonna hang out with the dead all day. Kitsap County Cemetery.
Yes. So it's actually open for anybody that wants to join us. So we're gonna have a nice little fall cemetery outing and kind of go see Chief Seattle's grave and a few other bigwigs of Seattle, see their graves. And it's really beautiful around there. The tree, of course, the leaves are changing, and by then it should be really, really nice and full force. And another investigation in West Seattle and Woodinville. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, but what's cool is the Kitsap County Cemetery Days in Port Gamble.
I think that's where we're going to start, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is that okay.
Yeah. I think it's at the theater or something. That's the address, I think, is on Rainier.
Yeah, well, yes.
Well, that's the only road in town, but... Yes,
exactly. Jake, it's just that right down the street, turn the corner, right up the street, and then you're done.
Yep, you got theater and a general store and the Walker Ames house, and, well, there's some other fun stuff there, though, too.
Yeah, there's a really nice little, was it a cult bookstore? Is it still there?
Oh, I thought that was the British place, you get your tea, your
Yes, they keep changing it. They keep changing things around there, but it's a wonderful town. If you ever get a chance to go to Port Gamble, Port Gamble also has ghost walks and ghost hunts. So check out their website. It's a really nice little getaway. We
And
should
they've
have
got the
done that.
conference. Was it first weekend in November?
November, yeah.
And June and I will be there. Plug,
Yeah.
if you want to come meet us. I'm on
will
Saturday.
be.
June, are you on Saturday or are you on like Friday or Sunday?
I am not sure yet. I need to, I'm not sure when he's going to have me do this, so.
Okay. Yeah, I'm doing
So
ghost
gonna give my
gadgets.
talk. I'm going to be talking about travel on the spooky side.
Mm-hmm. Well, you'll have lots of practice from your library tour. So if you're
right.
in the Puget Sound area, you can come see June talk all about ghostly adventures, not ghost adventures, ghostly adventures, and exotic destinations across North America and Europe.
Yes. And you don't want to hear me talk about ghost adventures because
I
could probably get in trouble.
That's going to be coming up. We do have the shows and we have Ghostober. But we should just wrap by saying Port Gamble Paraconference 2019 will be split between Kingston at the casino and Port Gamble.
Yeah. That's going to be weird this year. It's going to be really strange because this is the first time ever that we are not having the conference in Port Gamble. We're having it in Kingston.
There's a few classes that happen. Like the one I'm doing is in Port Gamble in the conference room, which is, I think it's the museum building. It's not in the museum. It's around the corner, but it's all the same building. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing ghost gadgets there on Saturday,
awesome.
November 9th.
You're going to be so good at that. That's going to be so fun.
Well, if you guys know me, I'm all about trigger objects. So I'm going to be like, everyone gather around because we're going to play with gadgets and we're going to play setup.
Mm-hmm. That'd be awesome.
And I'll show some evidence and stuff like that. It'll be fun.
Oh, fun.
Do we need to talk about any more ghost hunts and stuff, or should we start talking smack about the shows?
Oh, why don't we smack it?
Okay. So, Chris, if you're still there, we're going to talk Ghost Hunters. That was the last big debut we've had. There's plenty of stuff coming out this month, but Ghost Hunters 2019 came out in, I believe it was late August. I did a review on Ghostly. Spoiler alert, I do like the show. And so,
I have not seen it yet.
Okay,
honestly.
so it reminds me of the very first couple of seasons. It's just the videography is much better now, and I think the pacing's a bit better. I would say it feels real. I was
going to say the first season of Ghost Hunters was not everything was haunted.
Correct.
They actually debunked things,
Mm-hmm.
and that was very refreshing.
Yeah, and they do that with this show, though. When they're up to the 5th or 6th episode now. The one tonight is they've got two of the cast members are critiquing one of the most popular episodes, the one at the castle from the first series. And then it'll be back next week, and I forget where they're going, but they've done the St. Augustine Lighthouse. Mm-hmm. They've done a private residence. They did another private residence in upstate New York. I should probably pull up the episode list so I know what I'm talking about. But it kicked off at Pocatello High School in Idaho. And they did debunk most of the stuff that went on there. And the show really, it does feel more real than a lot of the other shows, for sure.
That's cool. And
a couple things is they do start off with trying to debunk the urban legends of the house. I mean, or whatever they're investigating. That's the first thing they set off to do.
Okay.
The other thing they do is they usually avoid gadgets that do like ghostly confirmation. So, your K2s, your SLS cameras, the Ovilus. Mm-hmm. They don't use those gadgets. So they use the Eddy Plus, which at a ghost, we've got two.
Yeah. Yes, thank you, Jake.
What's an Eddy Plus?
It tracks 5 different data points from temperature, EMF, vibration, air pressure, humidity, and records it so you can see trends over time. So like if you get an EVP at 1015, you can say there's also an air pressure change and an EMF surge.
Okay, cool.
So it allows you to corroborate a lot of your evidence. They use that one a lot. A lot of infrared cameras. For one thing, they're filming in dark. They still turn off the lights. Don't ask me why. You don't need to turn off the lights.
No, but I it's like I always say, it's like if you have a lot of night vision cameras, things like that, it's also easier to see shadows and other things, kind of anomalies. If there's something glowing in the room going by, man, I know, but you do not have to turn the lights off.
Correct.
Or you do not have to ghost hunt at night.
Correct. And because here's the other thing most people don't realize. Usually the ghosts are active when they were active in life. So if you were investigating at 1 and everyone went to bed at 10, well, you might get a spectral snore.
Yeah, exactly.
But
well, that's like this one group was saying, something about investigating this house, and they were like, well, she said most of her activity started at 10 in the morning, but but we just kind of investigated at night to see if we got anything. It's like, well, if most of the activity was at 10 in the morning, you should be investigating at 10 in the morning. It's like, why would you investigate at night if if she says that every morning she's being awakened by something walking through her room and leaving a cold spot and knocking things over at 10 o'clock every morning.
Yeah.
Wouldn't she want to set up cameras at 10 o'clock in the morning? I don't know. Is it just me?
Wait, I'm going to pull up the episode list so I can for Ghost Hunters. I mean, I do recommend the show.
I'm going to have to see it. I'm going to watch it then.
So with the new one, actually, I don't think it aired, but I've this is not a plug, so I've got Comcast, so you have video on demand, right? And they have like an in-between episode, which is just them debunking everything from like the first 3 episodes.
Yeah. Yep.
And a couple of the complaints that I have about Ghost Hunters is, so they have the 2 lady investigators. They're not really used a lot on the show. And the thing I would call out about that one, so I'm going to pull up this full episode list. It really comes with Kristen Luman, because she's the psychologist in the group. And in the debunking episode, she was in a lot of the clips because she's the super rational one. But the 5 episodes I've seen, she hasn't really done a lot other than like show up for the reveal, and they show her going around with Daryl. I think his last name is Marston. He's the guy with the beard and wears like the skull cap.
Oh yeah.
He's from Delaware. He's got the talk show like Great American Ghost Podcast or something like that. I can't remember it. It's that guy. And he's involved. And you've got Brandon and Mustafa. And Mustafa's they call him a viral journalist. He writes for Distractify, so they do a lot of viral type articles. And they really focus on Brandon and Mustafa a lot, and like Grant and Daryl, but you don't get so much with Brian and his counterpart Rochelle. Brian and Rochelle are from the same ghost hunting team in Illinois. I think it's called Riverbend Paranormal. And they went to this seminary, this last original episode that they had. Like I said, though, I liked it. They debunked it. Like this place, they said over 220 some people died. Well, it was an old folks home for like 80 years. You're going to have a high body count.
Probably,
yeah. And Mustafa, who's the journalist, goes out and gets the scoop on the haunt. And like nothing horrible happened there. And just like with the school, no one hanged themselves from the chandelier. No one drowned in the pool because there never was a pool.
Oh, okay.
Stuff like that. So, I mean, they put debunking right up front. And some of the gear you can tell they haven't used before. I noticed with the binaural recorders. So, you've got the little things you would put in your ears, and it's supposed to replicate human hearing. I think I'm pronouncing it right, binaural or bi-oral sound. A couple of the crew members that were using looked a little uncomfortable with it.
Interesting.
But otherwise, a lot of Eddy pluses, a lot of Mel 8704Rs, infrared cameras. Nothing too crazy. They don't do the lights, the flashlight where you unscrew it. They actually made a joke about ghost hunters that use that during that episode. I thought was funny.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I do like it. A couple of times I thought they took some liberties with the show. And, you know, I would say, I mean, I tune in, well, because it's actually on when we do the show. So I watch it the next day on demand. So I'm not a live watcher. But that's
watcher.
Yeah, I'm on demand. I'm delayed viewing. But that's Ghost Hunters. I would say it's the best show I've seen in a while. But I mean, if you've seen the other ghost hunting shows, and I got a review on Ghostly. If you do like Ghost Hunters review or Ghost Hunters 2019 review in the Google or the Bing, you should find Ghostly's review of it. You know, and then the other big thing is Ghostober, which is on Travel Channel. They have a slew of new ghosty shows coming out this month. And so we could go into that. I mean, none of these shows are out just yet. The first of the series comes out tomorrow, the Holzer Files, which has Dave Schrader on it. I think most people in the paranormal community knows that.
Some Darkness Radio.
Darkness Radio, yeah. And he's got a tech guy named Shane Pittman, and he's got a psychic medium. Don't hate on me, psychic mediums. Her name's Cindy Kaza.
They already know, Jake, that you don't like them.
I don't like them. I went to test them.
Yeah, you know, it's like, well, before, you know, it's like even in our group of ghosts, it's like if they want to call themselves a psychic medium, they have to prove themselves as being a psychic medium. We don't just take people to say, yeah, I'm psychic. It's like, you know, you're going to have to prove yourself. You're going to have to go into a place and say, you know, well, it's like Merlin, when she used to be in our group regularly, and she would go into a place and say, why am I feeling like chickens, or, you know, why am I getting chickens, or something, you know, something like this. And in a place that isn't known for chickens, and then all of a sudden you find out that, you know, the woman had chickens and collected chickens. Everything was chickens with her, and you wouldn't have known it, you know, things like that. And a whole bunch of other things. She was like right spot on that she never would have been able to guess. And that's impressive to me. A lot of people are like, you know, like that one time when I kind of said, oh, my arm's getting cold. And all of a sudden the woman speaks up and says, oh, yeah, I wanted to tell you that there's something manifesting right by your right arm. And it's like, well, that's strange because it's my left arm that something's that's cold, you know?
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. So it takes a lot for me to be impressed by someone that, you know, calls themselves psychic.
Yeah, so I mean, with Ghostly back in Chicago, there was a psychic that we would call in from time to time. It wasn't all the time, but she usually nailed it.
Yeah, it's amazing sometimes. You get it. You're like, how in the hell?
Like, how'd you know that, damn it? Let's see. So the Holzer Files investigates, I'm reading this straight from Travel Channel's little blurbs they have for Ghostober here. So they investigate the true hauntings from the recently discovered case files of Dr. Hans Holzer. So recently discovered files.
Recently discovered they were.
Because he's been dead a while.
Yeah.
I do have that book, though.
But I wonder where they found these.
Yeah, I'm thinking docudrama, you know, it's kind of like Ghosts of Morgan City. It's all staged.
Yeah.
It's a docudrama.
That's a little suspicious to me.
Yeah. But it's on tomorrow night at 10 Eastern on Travel Channel, so you could check it out. I actually like it when there's a smaller team of investigators, because you actually... I don't watch the shows for the ghostly evidence, because most of it I think is trash. But I do like the camaraderie of the team members. Like, for example, I love Kindred Spirits, not because of how they do their investigations. I just really dig Amy and Adam.
I do too. That's
And the same thing goes with the Dead Files, because I really like Steve, the New York police detective. Amy, you know.
Amy makes those weird faces.
She does, and that's funny. Like, we could meme the hell out of her.
Yes, we could.
Yes.
Oh dear, I have gas on film again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my.
Let's see. Let me just see if there's any stuff in the chat. I haven't been paying attention as much since I've been flapping my gums, but looks like Wendy's got it in.
Chris and I are chatting along. But,
Okay.
He was 13 and he woke up next to a ghost and yeah. And we all love hanging out at cemeteries, so it's not weird at all.
No, not at all.
It's one of the first places I always go when I go to a city.
Yeah,
Let's check out the cemetery.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's go hang out with the dead people. They're far much more fun.
Exactly.
Or the dogs.
Well,
Go to the dog park or the cemetery.
Yeah, or
Yep.
dogs. Yeah. Well, it's like the history. I mean, I always like to look up the oldest cemetery in a city that we are at, and it just tells you so much history of the city. You see a lot more monuments, things like that. You know that you're in probably a wealthier area, or you used to be in a wealthier area. You know, look at all the children's graves and know that they must have had some sort of epidemic, you know, in 1912 or something, because there's a whole bunch of 1912 deaths here, and it's, you know, really, really amazing the history you find out when you go to a cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah. Especially the really nice old ones, because I've been out to a couple here by us. I was with Sandy, a member of a ghost, and we went down to a cemetery. It was like just outside of Tacoma. I forgot exactly where. And they had pretty much removed all the old tombstones and everything was refreshed and new.
Ooh,
I'm just
that's
like,
awful.
I know. I like the old, you know, lichen encrusted gravestones, but yeah. So for the month of for Ghosttober, at least, the heavy hitter of the month. Well, they've got like 3 shows that I say you probably have to watch for sure. One is Ghost Nation, where Jason, Steve, and Tango from the original Ghost Hunters get their own show. And let's see, what's it saying? Pioneers, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they're not really saying much. It sounds like it's going to be for people that have reached dead ends with their cases. Ghost Nation is here to help them out. Not much more. I actually haven't seen many previews of this show.
I haven't either.
Which is kind of weird because it is travel. It debuts on October 11th. So,
Wow.
We should be bombarded with this stuff.
But yeah, you'd think so.
Yeah.
Especially since it's now October, you know.
Mm-hmm. But that's one for sure I'm looking forward to. I will probably tune in and watch this one live. So that's how you can tell I'm really interested if I watch it live.
Very.
Couple of recreation shows. There's Hometown Horror and My Horror Story. So you guys know the recreation shows. They sit the witnesses down. They say, tell me a story. They do reenactments. They've got one called Hometown Horror, which delves into quiet communities and examine the stories and myths and shine light on what could be lurking in the shadows. But what's interesting is they've got Baraboo, Wisconsin on there, which is like right next to where I grew up. And like, there ain't no hauntings for the circus in Baraboo. So Barnum and Bailey comes out of Baraboo, Wisconsin. And like, we ain't got nothing going on, but okay.
But you never know. Maybe something pops up.
That's true. There could be some, could have been like a satanic death cult or that did something. I don't know. Let's see, Alaska Triangle. I've never heard of this, but you know, freaky paranormal stuff, UFOs, fearful monsters. Okay. My Horror Story. Regular folks telling blood-curdling tales of surviving the unknown. Okay, we've seen that a couple times with like Paranormal Witness and blah, 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 blah.
And you are saying horror, not your horror story, your horror story.
Well, you know, when I was in my 20s...
Sorry, just kidding.
Ooh, I've got to read this because we were just making fun of it earlier. Okay. Radio voice.
Okay, radio voice.
Okay. In My Horror Story, ordinary people share their chilling true tales of surviving the unknown, from hellish possessions and blood-drawing spirits to alien abductions and otherworldly creatures. These brave storytellers, these brave storytellers are shaken to the core as they recall grave encounters with dark, paranormal forces. It's a wild, horror-filled ride through the supernatural. My Horror Story premieres Monday, October 21st at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central.
Cue the applause.
Oh, here, let me hit that effect. Just wait 1 sec. Is there a short one? I hope there's a short one. I don't want to do the 13-second. Okay, we're doing the 12-second one.
Good. Yeah. We must have new. Well, that sounds interesting. What about these bloodletting spirits? Where are they at?
I know. I mean, they're the ones that are always scratching you, but...
Are they the mosquito spirits? You know my EVPs that I got with mosquitoes.
June!
I was like, oh my god, what's that weird voice calling my name? And it was June. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Those are mosquitoes going past my microphone. Oh my gosh. I wish I could find that.
Yeah, you need to find that shit. That's gonna be like, I'm gonna turn that into your intro music.
I mean, it sounds really weird. It's right by the microphone. But yeah.
We can work something out like that. The other two big specials, and one is only a one-time event. It is on Friday night. It is Haunted Salem Live. So,
I thought it was Saturday night.
No, and it is a 4-hour ordeal. Because let's be real, 4 hours of ghost hunting, watching live.
Well,
everyone
I'm sure
watched.
They're not going to have real ghost hunting, because if you're watching live real ghost hunting, it's going to be boring as hell.
Yeah, I mean, but they're going to spread it up. This is kind of like ghost hunting with the stars. I guess that's the best way to say it.
Yeah, they'll keep going to different teams.
Yeah,
and everything like this.
Exactly.
I wonder if they'll mix up the teams a little bit.
You know, I hope they do, but they might keep we'll see what they do. It's live. Mm-hmm. So 4-hour ghost hunt in Salem.
I really wish that we would have had more, we could have planned this better, because this would have been so much fun to have a group together and do shots every time.
Yep.
They do something really stupid.
Yep. I mean, we could probably watch it on demand. I mean, it's not as good as doing it live, right? But here we go, the Travel Channel's paranormal experts. Keep your giggles to yourself. So the first one, I would say legit, Katrina. Yeah, I do like Katrina Weidman.
I do too. I do like her too, I have to say.
Jack Osborne. I was going to say, Jack, you didn't do yourself any favors on Portals to Hell.
No.
Amy Bruni. I think everyone agrees Amy is pretty legit.
Seems to be.
Yeah. Adam. Barry. And Chip Coffey.
Oh, not Chip.
Yeah, we got Chip.
Not Chip.
And then we've got the Ghost Brothers with Dalen, Juwan, and Marcus. I don't watch the show. I mean, when they were... I've seen like little clips, and they seem to be far more serious with this show, but when it was the first show, it was kind of slapstick ghost hunting. Yeah, it was slapstick ghost hunting. I guess that's...
Maybe that was more realistic.
Well, like I said, Jake goes on a rant. Begin rant. Okay. Why on earth do all these ghost hunters have to be sourpusses? Let's be real. I mean, do you want to hang out with the grumpy, in the corner that's going, tell me your name. You should manifest for me. Where are you? Touch the glowing red. No, you should get back and have some fun, because, people are attracted to the life of the party, even if the party's with the dead. So why would you be so serious and be like, nah, especially with kid spirits? Like, because if I was a dead 12-year-old boy and there was someone like, you need to manifest, but it's like, dude, you're like my dad. I'm out of here.
He's going
yours.
to be
I'm
over in the
leaving.
corner flipping you
Yeah.
off in,
Yeah,
ghostly
exactly.
manner.
Yeah. Jake rant ends. Okay, so then we've got
Yes.
Dave Schrader and Cindy from the Holzer Files. So the new shows, and I don't know what more to say. They'll be at Ipswich Gaol, was a prison. For practicing witchcraft.
That'd be a cool place to see in person.
Yeah, the Proctor. So I had just listened to Unobscured season 1. You know, Aaron Mahnke from Lore does it. And the first season of it was all about the Salem witch trial. So it's really interesting to see where they're investigating because I know it from listening to the podcast.
I can't wait. I'm going to be going to Salem next year in June.
Really?
So I'm so excited. I've never been to Salem before, and I'm going to, I'm going to backtrack just a little bit. I really, really enjoy, some of these shows actually are, even if they are really ridiculous, some of them, I love watching a lot of these just to see where they're going to be taking me, what places they're going to be going, because I might want to actually investigate some of these places someday. So, just saying that a lot of these places, even if the shows are really bad, what was the one place where they, not the scariest places on earth, but it was a newer show than that, where they would take people and give them the story of the place, and they drop them off at this place, and they'd have to live in there for 3 days.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't that one on MTV? It didn't last that long. Stranded.
Well, yes, I didn't know it was MTV, but yeah, I think it was Stranded.
Yeah, it only lasted like 6 or 8 episodes. I like that show, actually.
But I enjoyed it because, like I said, they would take these people in these amazing places and leave them there for 3 days, which I'm saying that in quotes because I don't really know if they really did that. But, who knows? But some of the places were so cool, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really, really want to investigate that place. How can we get in there?
Yeah, that's the good thing about the shows is they always go to the most interesting places. However, some places you need to lay off. I'm over Waverly. I'm over Eastern State.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That too.
Yeah, I'm
some
just
places
like...
It's like, okay, come on. Let's get some new obscure places where people have not been before.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's like when we went to investigate, what's the place outside of Spokane?
Up in Northport?
No.
No.
The place with the hospital, the old abandoned hospital.
Oh, yeah, I know which... Oh, yeah, everyone goes there now.
Yeah, but now they don't allow anybody to go there anymore. They have totally turned it off.
Oh,
Ghost
really?
hunting, everything else. They have shut it down. It starts with an I. Oh my God.
Just wait. Haunted Hospitals, Spokane.
Was Ghost Adventures?
They've
just
all been.
there?
Paranormal Lockdown was there. It was like
Paranormal
St.
Lockdown.
Ignatius.
St. Ignatius. I knew it started with an I.
Colfax is the town.
Colfax. Yes, that's right. It was a very, very interesting and cool place. I'm really glad, we did get to do an investigation there before all the ghost shows got a hold of it.
Yeah.
But now,
Yeah.
they're not allowing anybody in
Yeah,
there.
that's the whole thing is once it becomes a popular haunt, everyone's going to go there. And then when you think about, you have to do special insurance. If people are going to do these investigations, because you sign your waiver, if you know it's a dangerous place, you're still on the hook for it. And then you've got everyone trying to sneak in. So I would be wary of it too. Yeah, I mean,
all that crap.
And yeah.
Well, look at Preston Castle. Preston Castle's been on these ghost shows. You wouldn't believe the people they have had to they've tried to sneak in. Now that Ryan is in charge of all the tech stuff and he has all the cameras in there, and it's like the motion sensors. So if anybody walks in there or anything, they're on camera.
Yeah.
And then a very high pitched alarm goes off. But it's amazing how many times that happens. It's like, wow.
Ooh, Chris has a good question. Are you ready? Wendy, you want to read it since you've been monitoring the chat all the time?
Sure. Serious question. Why do you guys investigate ghosts? To prove it or disprove it?
I
would you
would.
like to take that first, Jake? I can say why I would.
I have a very simple answer. I'm just really into mysteries and solving mysteries. So I guess it would be to prove it, but I'm also just into the weirdness of it all. So intense curiosity of the unknown.
Well, Scooby-itis, I understand.
Yeah, Scooby-itis, yeah, for sure.
Well, I have to say, my reason's a little more, say, deeper in a sense, but I have a horrible fear of death, and I would like to prove to myself more than anything that our consciousness does survive and goes on and moves forward. I think that's a big thing with me. I would. And, sometimes I still have trouble convincing myself that some of the evidence I have caught, I don't know. It's one of those things. But yeah, that's one of the biggest things with me. I really, really want to prove it more to myself. And also I want to help people that, and find out what the mystery is, or find out if someone's house is supposed to be haunted and all these things are happening, find out what's really going on. Is it just faulty pipes, or is there a intelligent ghost in there, or is there a haunting that's just happening?
I would totally agree with that. I really like the investigation. So for folks that don't know me so well, I work in analytics, and I do go through massive data sets trying to find the interesting stuff. So it's always just investigation has been a curiosity, but I don't want to be like a police officer or detective or anything like that. I'm cool with Scooby.
I think you'd still be really good at that too. You could be a police officer or a detective. I
yeah,
think
but
you'd be awesome.
you know my mouth, and you know how I.
But it's like you're good though.
Oh, come on. I love releasing the hounds of Jake.
The hounds of Jake. I like that. I like that.
Okay, back to shows real quick, because we're almost done with Ghostober. It's just so you know, we are not affiliated with travel. We just like to make fun of its shows. Let's be real.
That's true.
So this is the other big heavy hitter. This is probably the biggest heavy hitter of the batch, and it comes out Saturday, October 5th, so this Saturday at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. It is Ghost Adventures, Serial Killer Spirits, kicking off with H.H. Holmes' house in Chicago.
It'd be a cool house to see, though.
Yeah, I'm really into this one because it is... I lived in Chicago longer than anywhere else. But the thing is, most of his place got torn down. So when they talk about his murder house, I don't know where they're going to go.
Zach's probably rebuilding it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he's probably rebuilding it so he can go through it, investigate it, and then tear it down at the end so nobody else can investigate it or see it.
Totally. So these are the places they're going to hit up.
Okay.
So John Wayne Gacy's prison cell, because the house is gone.
Right, so they have to go to the prison cell.
Yeah, and I'm just like, if you were John Wayne Gacy, would you want to hang out in the prison, or did you want to hang around where you had all of your little...
Play toys.
Yeah, your playmates.
Yeah, playmates.
Your dead playmates. The other thing is H.H. Holmes' murder house. So spoiler alert, that used to be the Metropolitan Hotel. It was the murder house before it was the Metropolitan. And it's all torn down, and it's townhouses now. So I guess if they get access, I
wonder if they have had any issues at the townhouses there.
Yeah, you don't really hear much about it. I mean, I lived there forever. H.H. Holmes was a really big, it was a big deal in Chicago.
Yeah.
And because he was, devil in the White City. And he had a link to the Congress Plaza Hotel, which I've done plenty of investigations there, because he met like just a couple, not every victim, because it would be the ladies would come in from Iowa, Indiana to work at his pharmacy and stuff, and then he'd take them back to the house and kill them. And he would meet them in the Congress Plaza, but that was only like one or two. If you hear anything more than that, it's a bit overblown.
It's a bit,
yeah, and from The Devil in the White City, the Congress Plaza Hotel is the World Exhibition Hotel in the book. It was the hotel built to house everyone going to the fair. Squirrel Cage Jail. I don't know anything about that. Jake Bird. Was this the guy that killed the sorority girls back in the day?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Anson Call House. And ties to the Anson Call House, which has ties to Ted Bundy's terror spree. I didn't think Ted Bundy made it as far. Well, no, this is all across the country. So I'm not familiar with this building, and I'm not the Anson Call House, and I'm not. I'll look up Jake Bird. You know, too bad we don't have Kim on. She'd give us all the stuff.
I know. She knows everything about serial killers.
Yeah, and that's the big one. Yeah, so that's the big one. Okay, Jake Bird, what do you do? American murdered, self-confessed serial killer. Oh, axe murderer in Tacoma.
In Tacoma?
In 1947.
Wow, I don't remember hearing that
They
story.
think he killed up to 46 people.
Ooh.
He died in Washington State Penitentiary.
Wow.
He's confirmed 12 kills, they think up to 46, between the 30s and 1947. He was the Tacoma axe killer. How do we not know this?
I have no idea.
I'm totally... I have to check out Murderpedia. We'll get back to you on that one. Okay.
We are going to have to check that out. It's very interesting.
That could be a whole show in itself.
I know.
Exactly.
And then the last thing is The Witches of Salem. And that comes on Sunday. It's a 4-part docudrama. And chronologically unravels the rapid descent of Salem into madness during the witch trials. Okay. Satanic Panic type thing.
Wow.
Oh, just wait. They have a...
Satanic Panic.
There's... What? Ghost Adventures Curse of the Harrisville Farm House. What is this? What is this? It's
Is
a
that
two...
the farm?
Oh, that's The Conjuring. It's going to be on Halloween. Live on Halloween.
I was going to say, is that the farm where the Conjuring is supposed to...
Yep. In Rhode Island. Okay. I forgot all about this.
You guys may or may not know or remember this, but Mystic Moon Cafe was the first show to interview Andrea Perrin.
What?
So I remember that. Very cool.
What? Is that recorded? Is that available to stream?
It should be somewhere. Yeah, it should be on YouTube at the very least.
Okay, I'm going to dig this up, and I'm going to share it to Ghostly.
Okay, now it was one of our first shows, and it was me and Seth, so...
Does that mean it sucked, or was it good?
It was good. It was pretty good. They kind of got on us for our theatrical gasps and things, but whatever.
What?
They called me a horrible woman.
What?
Well,
This is
yeah.
perfect!
I think we had some haters going on.
Really?
Yes, I had haters.
What?
No way.
Way.
Who in the world?
I knew I had achieved success.
That's right.
Little haters.
Yep.
Yes.
You know you've made it when people want to just smite you.
That's
So I flapped my gums a lot about that. I guess the other shows we could talk about that came out the past year, we had Ghost Bait.
Which I hear is already gone?
It hasn't been confirmed. At least I haven't found it yet, if it's been canceled. We had... its ratings weren't that strong compared... It was the replacement for Kindred Spirits. So when Kindred Spirits went off in, like, March or something like that, Ghost Bait came on. Maybe it was May. I don't remember. And it got half the ratings of Kindred Spirits, which is usually not good. And then Portals to Hell came out, which this is, I'll say, the first show where I really noticed the producers being part of the cast, which I am against having producers kind of lead the investigators. Not a fan of that. And then we had Ghosts of Morgan City, which, it was kind of my guilty pleasure. I was more into the setting than the actual investigation and investigators.
The story. The whole story.
The narrative, because it's Cajun country in Louisiana. And
well, if I may, one of the psychic mediums on that show...
Oh, Sarah.
Was going to get a hold of us and try to schedule a show.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Sarah
I
Lemos?
haven't seen that yet, but yeah.
We'll have to see if we can talk to her. Say, hey,
definitely, yeah.
come on in. But,
I reviewed that show.
I have to say I did really. I mean, I do really enjoy some of these shows, like Ghost Mine. I enjoyed it for the almost the soap opera kind of story, with the whole story of and historical. I mean, there was historically correct, really shown some light about a lot of the Chinese immigrants that came to, out here in this way, around Oregon and everything, and tried to have their luck in finding gold, and how that they were treated by people around here, and basically treated like animals, and worse than animals, and some of them rounded up into places and burned alive so people could steal their gold claims. And it really shone some light on a lot of the things that happened back then. So I enjoyed the story with that. Some of it was a little overacting, but I still enjoyed it. It was fun with the Ghost Mine. Fun. Yeah, I still wish that they would have come out with a third season.
I did like Ghost Mine, and that's where Kristen showed up originally. Mm-hmm. When it came to Paranormal TV.
Jay Verberg, Patrick, it's like all of them. I really, really like them. Mm-hmm. And we're very lucky to have Jay Verberg out this way, and Patrick. What's Patrick's last name? I forgot. But it's just really great to have them kind of out this way. So now it's like we get to see them quite a bit at some of our conferences, and they're actually overall really, really nice guys. So it's been a lot of fun hanging out with them. A lot of fun.
True.
So what are you reading, Jake?
Oh, I was just reading a little bit of Murderpedia. I pinged Kim about Jake Bird. I know A&E had Psychic Kids that came out. I don't think Psychic Kids is going to stick around for another season. It loses a lot of ghost hunters as the lead-in. And, A&E had a few shows. ETV. Let me see what they got on. I only watch Ghost Hunters on A&E, to be honest. But here we go. This is their programming bit. We know about Ghost Adventures, and we know about Psychic Kids. Oh, they have the world's biggest ghost hunt. Which, yeah.
How is that going to happen? I mean, how is that going to work?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it here.
Are they really expecting to get evidence when they have 80,000 people?
Yeah, when is it on? 2-hour special set to premiere in the fall. They don't have a date with it. So it's going to be, okay. It's at the Pennhurst Asylum. There'll be 5 paranormal investigators. We don't know who these 5 paranormal investigators are. Are locked into Pennhurst Asylum for 2 weeks to document unexplained recent reports of paranormal activity. And blah, 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 blah. I'm just skipping ahead. They closed the entire property for Pennhurst for these 5 investigators. And 2-hour special set in the fall. There is no date with it, I do not believe. Anyway, the other shows on A&E are Celebrity Ghost Stories, which is, people really like her. I don't think I know her. Kim Russo, The Haunting of, The Haunting of host. She's going to be doing that show. Kim, whose abilities have only gotten stronger. I guess she's a psychic then. Is bringing some of the biggest names in entertainment back. Unfiltered, dangerous reunions, ghosts of their past. Series combines thrill of ghost hunting and with the emotion of psychic medium readings to push the limits. Deeply raw and authentic. With celebrities, 6 episodes this fall, no date. And then, this one actually sounds kind of funny. Trey the Texas Medium. Centers on Trey Ganem, I hope I pronounced that correctly, a successful businessman from Edna, Texas, who creates one-of-a-kind custom caskets. 12 episodes. I don't have any date for it yet. Anyway, so that's what's on A&D.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Some things sound interesting.
Definitely.
Kim said she's going to be talking about Jake Burke next week.
Oh, wow.
Oh, this must be for her class. Yeah.
She's doing really good with that class. It
Mm-hmm.
sounds really cool. So, oh, wow. Maybe we'll have to, can we sneak in on her class?
Just wait, I'll ask her.
How much is it? Maybe we can plug her class.
Just wait, maybe can we audit? Okay, just wait. I'm like, cash under the table, audit, what's up?
And this is Kim Douthit. She is actually a really great tour guide, paranormal investigator, and she is a murder person. She knows about all the serial killers and everything else and finds it fascinating. She does the murder tour at Spooked in Seattle. And
True Crime at Spooked in Seattle as well.
And she is a horror movie aficionado, like myself, actually. And yeah, she knows quite a bit about horror movies. So she is just an all-around spooky gal who we love. The spooky gal.
I know. So she's great. She also does the Ghost Stories podcast. City of Geek podcast as well. She's got a lot of media projects.
Yeah, she sure does.
She got a lot.
She directs plays and musicals, and it's like, whew. I don't know how she does it. So
Great to have that energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, my
So
God.
earlier this week, a friend of mine approached me with some pictures of her daughter and her son at they were getting ready for homecoming, and one of the people that lives there has been a professional photographer for a long time, and they caught this weird light in a couple of the pictures, and she was asking me, well, what did I think? And what popped into my head was Will-o'-the-Wisp.
Mm.
And I'm really, really sure that's what it was, actually. Now, that can go one of two ways. It can be it's been so rainy and wet here that we have almost like the swamplands, and a lot of the vegetation is rotting, which apparently that's where Will-o'-the-Wisp, one of the legends is that it emits a phosphorescent light, and it was caught in a couple of these pictures, and the other one is, of course, the little fairy people who emit this little light, and they try to lead lost travelers off the path of wherever they were headed to their deaths, of course. So I thought that was really cool, and I mean, it wasn't reflection, it wasn't ghostly, it was just a weird light where there was no earthly reason for there to be a light.
Yeah.
Little ball lightning, maybe even? No.
I don't think so, but hey, you never know.
It's very cool. Very interesting.
Yes, it was. It was like, dude. And where did I pull Will-o'-the-Wisp out of, for that to be the first thought?
Wait, well, I mean, I know the Spider-Man villain Will-o'-the-Wisp. Let me get a picture of Will-o'-the-Wisp Spider-Man.
I had no idea. Okay, you going Spider-Man or?
Oh, I'm doing comic books for sure.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
and I'll do the real ones.
Here he is. Oh, that's an amazing green bodysuit. Yes, it's amazing. Let me.
I thought that was Poison Ivy.
Oh, well, one's Marvel, one's DC.
Okay, yeah.
Marvel is Spider-Man. DC is Poison Ivy.
Yes, Batman and Superman, Wonder Woman are DC. Avengers, X-Men, Spider-Man,
I have to say I'm a Marvel girl.
I am a Marvel boy. Yes.
Are you? Yeah.
I am. I grew up on the X-Men.
Did you? Oh.
I did. I wanted to be a mutant so bad. I mean, I am a mutant, don't get me wrong. But let me attach the file so you can see Will-o'-the-Wisp. Where's the upload? We've done pictures in here before.
Sometimes it's tricky little sucker to get the pictures in there.
Yeah.
You have to get just the right link. Just right.
Let me see.
Chris says she goes both ways
What?
with comics.
Oh.
She's... yes.
Uh-huh. Okay, that's not going to do it either.
As I try to put Will-O-the-Wisp in, and it didn't take.
Oh, that one should have, you think.
One sec. Nope, it just downloaded the chat. What the hell, people?
Is that kind of a private connection?
I don't know why it's doing
picture?
it. I mean, usually I can just paste in the whatever. Oh, you know what? Because we've downgraded our Rumble talk.
Oh,
I lost some functionality. Yeah, it went away on September 16th.
Oh, okay.
So I can't do these fun things.
Oh, Val.
Damn it, all to hell.
But I think I did earlier.
Well, you can embed a YouTube because it's just a link.
Mm-hmm.
But did you put a picture in?
Yeah. Actually, it was the picture of...
Oh, right there. The
Uh-huh.
ship.
Mhm.
Oh. Then how come I can't?
Well, I don't know.
Damn
Maybe
it.
just not the right... Maybe just not the right format.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. Okay.
See, that one just went.
Yeah, that was a picture. And you just pasted the picture URL in, right?
Yeah.
Okay, one
See if
moment.
I can.
Everyone's like, let's put pictures into the chat.
Yeah, let's just see. Let's just see if I can.
Okay.
And Chris, don't worry with
Oh,
Orlando's
it's going.
show. Spreaker, the Spreaker chat will work just fine.
It didn't take my
Mine didn't take either. Well, I guess
He
Wendy's
doesn't-
special.
I'm special.
Oh, Kim has chimed in. Kim has chimed in.
Hi, Kim.
We could
Yeah.
probably work something out, although the first half is going to be the Green River Killer, which I've already seen. But that means the second half could be Jake Bird and axe murdering. So it looks like he beat people with an axe, then stabbed them. That was his MO.
Interesting.
It didn't take my photo in the chat. The Jake Rice empty, it looked like it was going to take, and it didn't.
Was the nursing students, and what about Bob Bordello?
Oh yeah, I remember him. That's from Kansas City.
Yeah, down in the
I'll never forget that. That was creepy.
yes, extremely. I think they bulldozed that house too.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I can't remember too much about him, but I remember,
It was down in Westport, wasn't it?
Yeah, I remember that. It was Westport. Westport was the cool artsy district.
Yes,
was very
it still
nice.
theoretically is.
Is
One
it?
of them.
It used to be really cool. Remember all the thrift stores and hangout spots? It was just such a cool place. I loved that. I loved being there. Those were the days. Yep, I can't post anything either.
Mm-hmm.
Or any pictures.
Okay. Well, I mean, we got 32 minutes to kill, so do we want to talk about gadgets or do we want to talk about something else? Because, I do chat. I can do gadgets, but I don't know how exciting it can be to talk about gadgets.
Well, what is your most fun gadget that you love?
Ooh, well, I have a few favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Because you can make them sound exciting.
We'll see what I can do. My favorite right now is the Eddy Plus. So that's the one that records EMF, temperature, vibration, air pressure, humidity. And it stores it on a little chip that you can upload online and it will visualize your data. It's very exciting. I used it. I didn't actually use it at the Fox Theater.
Oh.
I didn't. I used it at... Oh, no, I did. When Ross was leading the EVP session in the pedophile office.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we had it there. I think that's the only place I used it, though. But I did use it at the American Cancer Society with one of my other favorite trigger objects, the Boo Buddy Interactive, my little glowing teddy bear.
I love the Boo Buddy. It's one of those things that I just absolutely love it. And tell everybody what all the Boo Buddy Interactive does, because it's really awesome.
Well, let me see if I can turn it on and it'll talk to us. One sec, because I have the super sensitive microphone. It'll probably pick it up. One sec. Talk amongst yourselves while I get Boo.
I'll try to. Well, it looks like I can post some things, but I have to copy the image address.
And others, you have to copy the other address.
Right. So it's like, aha.
The link address. Right, exactly. Yeah, and it's a crapshoot.
Cool. Cool. Sorry, I'm just posting all of my pictures from...
Boo's warming up.
Aw, I love little Boo.
Its little hands are glowing red and its tummy's glowing green. And what are you saying?
I'm gonna eat your eyeballs out, you little shit.
What, Boo? What? Are you angry, Boo? Did I wake you up? Is there a demon from hell in you? What's going on?
I'm Boo Buddy. What's your name?
So, the Boo generally detects temperature. Oh, that is Daisy making... Boo didn't fart. That was Daisy doing a little whiny bark. What, little girl? This is my little pocket pitty. Mind you, she's 75 pounds of pit bull.
Oh,
What, baby girl?
So adorable. I love her.
What, baby girl? You can come here if you want. She's like, let me in, damn it. I'm like, the door's cracked. You can fit. It's easy. You walk through. Okay. So my little girly. But Boo detects temperature, EMF changes.
Say something? Could you please say it again?
It can pick up some sound. And let's see.
Yeah, did you say something?
Just barking. And so then Boo has a series of 40 questions that it asks, which you've been hearing, and it depends on the stimulation.
Like electrodes
Mm-hmm.
attached to...
So I'm shaking Boo, and like he'll speak every like 20, 30 seconds depending on the what do you call it, stimulus. So I'm shaking him, so he should say something like that tickles or I need a hug.
Get warm in here?
Oh, he's getting warm. So as it gets the stimulus, he asks a question. If nothing's going on, he defaults to like 20 basic questions like, what's your name? And stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we use Boo, we usually get great results on our other gadgets, such as video or EVP or the Eddy Plus. But Boo's measuring stuff that the Eddy Plus is measuring anyway, so... do you want me just to leave him on in the background so we can just hear him talk to us?
Sure.
Okay.
And
Two-part harmony.
And one thing I always talk about now, that we usually are not going to use Boo Buddy if a client is present, because the client automatically thinks that Boo Buddy or the ghost is talking through Boo Buddy.
That happened
which is not the case.
in Bremerton like a year ago. Not even a year ago.
I will never forget that, because we were like, oh no, because she thought when the little Boo Buddy say, would you be my friend, or what is that what she...
Yeah, it's like,
said?
yeah, it was just like, hi, let's be friends.
And then the woman was like,
Oh, he giggled.
no.
Did you hear that? He just went, it tickles.
Oh, little giggle. Are you tickling your Boo Buddy?
Actually, he's just sitting here on the table, but I am shaking my leg, so it might be picking up
Okay.
that. Yeah,
You hope.
I hope. He already wants to eat my eyeballs, so
Oh, great.
it's like, oh, Boo grew fangs. I might have to put Boo in the trash in a minute.
You better make sure you have a strong lid on that.
Just wait. I know what to do. Mikey, toy.
Yeah.
Mikey is my 85-pound pit bull.
Mikey be like, yes.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
But it was really cute when Jake had the Boo Buddy out at a little gathering, and Boo was sitting on the couch. Daisy was convinced that it was for her.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And yes, she kept trying and staring at it.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah, our dogs love to destroy teddy bears and stuffed animals, all that good stuff.
Like, this is
that's pretty universal.
Yeah, but I was just like, baby girl, this teddy bear costs too much. You can't do that.
I'll get you one of your very own.
So Boo's keeping his company. So I do like my Boo. And, of course, June knows all about my cameras. Mm-hmm. My industrial strength one with the industrial strength microphone is that, I gotta say, that's probably my favorite gadget. But it's not really a ghost hunting gadget. It's a regular camcorder.
But it really
nice
works
one.
Great.
Yeah.
Really
and the mic.
Filming.
Yeah, and the mic I use on it, like Daisy was 50 feet away from me. She was across the house. She licked her lips, and I heard it clear as a bell.
Oh, my gosh.
On the mic.
Yeah, that's when you're like, whoa.
So if you go on a ghost hunt, and I have this microphone, please don't eat anything fibrous.
Yes, and watch what you say. I'll never forget when I got this incredible microphone for my recorder at the time. It was a few years ago, but with another group when I was with this other group. And we were investigating this house in Black Diamond. And I was upstairs by myself with the recorder and was just kind of, standing here doing an EVP session. I didn't hear anybody talking at all. Well, my recorder with my amazing, microphone picked up a conversation that two of the investigators were having downstairs in the basement, and it was a very X-rated conversation.
Ooh.
I'm talking really X-rated. I was like,
so,
my
was
God.
it a conversation or was it a filmic experience?
Yeah.
It was kind of a conversation of some of the things they were going to be doing later.
Were they a couple? Or remember, life is really great about bringing out the dead.
They weren't really a couple, which we knew about because, one happened to be married to somebody else.
Well, sometimes a demon gets into you.
Yeah, that's true.
Succubus. Emphasis on the suck you. And an incubus.
As incu. Oh,
incu. Yeah, suck you bus.
Succubus.
Yeah.
Suck with an S as in Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I had enunciated correctly.
You did.
Suck.
You know the quality of speakers.
Yeah. Yeah. So we don't have to slap the E for explicit on this one.
Nah.
Though the Boo Buddy's talking dirty now.
Uh-oh. Oh my God. Now that would be... That's like, yes. That's like, I love that video of the Tickle Me Elmo that all of a sudden says, "Kill James. Kill James." And the little boy's name was James. See that? You have to Google.
Yeah, you gotta go out and watch that. That's fun.
It made me laugh so hard. Especially when the little boy's name actually was James.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it says,
Yep.
"Kill James."
I like holding hands with you.
Oh, Boo wants to hold hands. That's so cute.
Yeah. See, this is why we do not play Boo Buddy around clients anymore, because...
Especially if they're, like, off the rocker.
And very emotional, yes.
Mm-hmm. And they have neighbors with AK-47s.
Yes.
Or
After we
AR-15s.
finished that investigation, the neighbor started shooting off his gun. And when we say neighbor, we're talking 20 feet away.
Not even.
Yeah, 15 feet away. The next house over was shooting his gun off. And when we said, oh my God, should we, go out to our car? Are we going to be safe going out to our car? And she's like, oh, I kind of forgot to tell him that I was going to have people over. So he's probably just, firing off warning shots. What?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
are we going to be alive to get to our cars? It was very unnerving, let's just say.
Yeah.
Moving targets, yay!
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is better than shooting that raccoon.
Mm. And we were a little bit west of Bremerton, so it was just like,
I bet I could skin them and fry them, turn them right into that jerky.
Oh, barf.
Was it that? Was that?
I'm gonna make you squeal like a pig, boy.
You sure got a purty mouth.
Mouth.
As we evolve into the basis of most bases. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes, it was. I have to say, I was a little scared because I thought, is he going to start shooting at us when we go out to the car?
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, what the hell?
It's always a thought. It just depends on how mentally disturbed he really is.
Yeah. But, you know, luckily she actually moved out the next week.
Yeah.
Because, you know.
And we had no evidence of anything going on in that house. So.
Except the crazy neighbors. Okay.
Well, yeah, she was a little cray. She was a little cray.
We actually debunked a lot of things too because, you know, one of the things she was talking about was tapping on the glass in the kitchen. She had kind of this glass partition, and if you walked in a certain place in the house, it would rattle the window. And it sounded like knocking sometimes, and there was a lot of things we could debunk in there, and but she had her mindset that it was a ghost. So no matter what we said, there was a ghost there. You know?
Okay. Yeah. One of those, I understand.
But
no matter what we said.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I tend not to investigate private residences.
And after that, it even solidified it.
Yeah, pretty much. I still did do. I think I did it before. I did one other crazy private residence before. They weren't crazy like this lady was.
Was it with a ghost, or was it on your?
Well, it was. You referred to it. It was the money stealing ghost in Auburn.
Yes, you took care of that. That was awesome.
I did do it.
Yes, I did. I was busy, actually.
Yeah.
I really was.
I did do it. There was nothing going on there.
Thank you for doing that.
You know, and after those two, I'm just like, I'm just not going to do private residence. Just, nah.
I am so on that breaking point. You know, it's one of those things where, I mean, every once in a while, we'll get some amazing people that are level-headed. I mean, it's just amazing how some of them people are. But then you have some that are just so far off the rocker that it's just like, wow, I'm not going to subject my team to come out here to this, and who knows what'll happen. It's like the one place we had a walkthrough. I'm glad we had a walkthrough first. That was kind of way out in the country. We get out there and find out she's got this huge kind of commune of people living in the backyard in tents and old trailers, and there's old dilapidated cars back there. You go through their house, there's like rusty farm utensils all over the inside of the house, and they are watching like marathon shows of ghost adventures on, the TV. So, they're wanting something to happen, but you're like, how safe is this with all these people that are living in the backyard? Some of them don't look very safe. Just saying, the crazy eyes that come out.
June left with only like 4 hypodermic needles in her heel. So
it's not a big deal.
Yeah, not a big deal.
I was like, I don't think that I just don't think we're going to have time to investigate this place because we're busy for the next 2 or 5 years.
Yeah, we're booked solid through the rapture.
Sorry. Oh, God, yes. So.
But I will say now that I've been traveling more with the Ghost for Ghost Hunting, I'm going to scale back my gear kits.
Yeah.
Because it's a pain to lug everything.
That's what I told Ross with the base case. I said, because he gets upset with me if I don't take the base case with us. And in this base case, we have a lot of stuff. It's a big, huge, heavy case.
Mm-hmm.
It probably weighs maybe 60, 70 pounds. Maybe I'm exaggerating.
It's heavy. I lugged it up a couple floors.
Maybe it's not that heavy, but to me, it's at least 100 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not that heavy, but it is very heavy.
Yeah.
And it's hard. I can't get it up the steps at Spooked in Seattle because it's part of the underground. And getting it up those steps is just like I have to do one step at a time to get it up the steps.
Oh, yay.
Do you have a favorite song?
It's not good.
Yeah.
So he wants the base case with us on every investigation, and it's like I said, we're just going to have to split this into different cases. And then I can take 2 trips at least.
Yeah, I mean, but the other thing is, it's so easy to lose your gear in these places. Like, you'll forget you put something down, maybe someone borrows it, takes it somewhere. And I don't want to lose any gear, and it's just... And I've got the cameras, I got tripods. It's just not easy.
The most important stuff, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thanks. I like holding hands with you.
Oh, I do too, Boo.
Aw.
Aww.
As it reaches out and grabs.
All of a sudden,
You hear the snicked switchblade. I'm gonna gut you like a fish.
And you're just screaming.
I'm like,
Spurt. And Boo's like, his soul is mine.
Guys, could we go over Dead Files a little bit there for Chris? Before we go too much further down this other rabbit hole.
well, we're just having good family fun with the Boo Buddy.
Possessed paranormal tools.
Mm-hmm.
Gadgets.
Oh, yes, our haunted objects. What do you do when the ghost hunting gear is haunted?
Yes, it sucks.
I'm like, I get more ghost hunting gear and put around the ghost hunting gear.
Yes, exactly.
And then, I'm like, hey, Ross, can you hold this, like, possessed compass that will burn into your hand? Just, like, I gotta set up my camera. Just a sec.
We'll see how it works. Oh, God.
That tickles.
So wrong.
I know, we're evil. But yeah, I'm gonna cut way back on my gear for investigations. I think I'm just gonna, because my camera's got the killer microphones on them. I might just stick to doing video.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
Just for my sanity.
Okay.
everything you do is amazing.
Well, thank you very much.
Everything
Thank you.
you do will be.
Oh, girlie, what's wrong, honey? Are you sleepy time or do you need a cookie?
I need a cookie.
She definitely needs a cookie. Talk amongst yourself. I gotta feed my dog. Just a sec.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm gonna put this mic on mute while I go and get the pumpkin spice dog treats.
Pumpkin spice dog treats.
Yes, it's true. I'll be right back.
Gosh.
Oh yeah, we're totally making fun of him and his dogs now.
Aw, little pumpkin spice.
Now we're gonna talk back about pumpkin spice dog
Yeah.
treats.
I have to say that I'm not really a fan of Dead Files, especially since they came to Seattle and worked with Ross with the Merchants Cafe.
Oh.
And they actually told Ross, they said, okay, now would you tell everybody how scared you are and that you're never going to come into Merchants Cafe again? Ross was like, I can't do that. I'm a ghost hunter. I actually lead the tours through here every week.
Yeah.
I can't say I'm too afraid to come back in here. That's my credibility.
What? Credibility? What?
Oh, I was just talking about when Dead Files came to Seattle and they told Ross to say how terrified he was about going into Merchants Cafe.
Oh, it was that show.
And that they asked him to say that he would never go into there again because he was so afraid. And Ross was like, I can't do that. I lead tours through here every week. It was like, am I going to stand outside merchants and say, I'm sorry, guys, I'm too afraid to go in. You just go in and come back out, and then I'll tell you the stories. He's like, that's my credibility. He goes, I'm not too afraid to go in here. It's like, we are the ghost hunters that when we hear something, we hear a sound, we see something crazy, we go towards it. We don't run away from it. We go towards it. So if you're trying to get away from something, don't follow us.
They are the embodiment of clinically insane.
Exactly. We go towards these things. That is the truth.
Yeah, so. I'm here going, I'll stand back here and guard your backs. It'll be good.
That's true.
It's more like, I'll stand back here and lock you in.
Yeah. Well, considering that Wendy started her very first ghost hunt at the Villisca Axe murder house.
Ooh.
Right? If you're going to do it, just go ahead and do it.
Did you say something?
Go all in, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, my. Have you ever been there, Jake?
I have not.
Yeah. You'd really be surprised when you go there because it seems like it would be a lot bigger, but it's a really small house.
Yes, very small.
Yeah, I mean...
It's like, how did somebody hide in that house? And then come out and start chopping people up.
And how did they do it to everybody in the family without people...
Running out the door.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, I could see in the top floor because those kids wouldn't be... They have to run through their parents' bedroom to get out.
But they'd be making enough noise to...
They'd be screaming.
Or did they go after the mom and dad first? Yeah,
that's what they said. They went after the mom and dad first. And they said that the father was killed probably with one chop to the head. And then the woman, but they said now from the video I watched that the wife, I guess, screamed, oh God, no, or something like this. And the neighbor heard that. But she thought it was something else.
Yes, way too many unknowns, Chris. Have you been up there? It's not far from you, really.
Chris? Does she live close to?
Chris Christman.
The other.
He's up in northern Missouri.
Oh, I thought Chris was. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris.
No, that's okay. We know lots of Chris's, but yeah.
That was the other Chris. That was a woman. Sorry, Chris.
Well, honestly, I don't know. I've never met him in person, so anything's possible.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But it was really cool. I'm glad I got to go there. Wendy and I went. The second time that she got to go already, and then we went up there together when I was up there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to go again, though, this time with an investigation group. So
during a thunderstorm and in a cyclone.
Yeah, exactly. Best time to go.
Yeah. See if we could get Char to come down that day.
I think that would be awesome.
Absolutely. All right. Well, kids, what else we got going on?
Well, I have my first library talk tomorrow night.
Yes, tell us about the tour.
Yeah, what do you got going on?
Yeah.
Thanks, I like
tour.
You're on tour. Just wait, let me turn off the boot.
My tour. Oh,
Your library tour.
I was like, I'm not giving anyone a tour, am I?
Travel on the spooky side.
3-hour tour.
Yeah.
3-hour tour.
The June Bugmobile is the USS Minnow or SS Minnow.
Well, I'm starting my library talks tomorrow. I'm a little terrified about it, but I'm hoping I won't stutter or stammer too much.
Whiskey, girl. Just drink the whiskey before you go on. It'll be fun.
I'm really, when I get really tired and exhausted and, working all day.
You get a little snappish.
June gets bitchy?
Sometimes.
Scabby. Yeah.
Maybe scabby. I do. I get really tired. So I'm hoping it'll go well tomorrow night. And Ross Allison helped me quite a while with my presentation last night. So I'm hoping it'll go well. So it's called Travel on the Spooky Side. And I kind of just talk about my travels and some of the evidence I caught. And
Evidence.
Yes, evidence. So, and tomorrow is my first talk at the Black Diamond Library.
Which we've had plenty of ghost hunts at.
Not the library, but the cemetery.
The cemetery. Well, they're more interesting people.
Mm-hmm. It should be interesting, so we'll see what happens. I'll give a full update. But then after that, of course, I have I think I have six talks until our next show, which is next Wednesday. So I'm going to have six different lectures from now until our next show.
Wow. Well,
Two on
now
Saturday,
I'll have
on
one
Sunday.
Sunday though. So
What'd you say, Wendy?
I do have that show Sunday though. So it'll that cuts it down even more.
So yes. So.
But tune in Sunday to my show,
Yes.
Wendy's Magical Studies, and I will have Roman. Oh shoot, what's his last name, June? I just blanked.
Roman. We can just call him Roman.
Roman, is it Delgado?
Yes. Yes, thank you,
Roman
Jake.
Delgado.
Yes.
Thank you.
He's
I'm blank,
gonna.
too.
Yep. He wanted to talk about shamanic, whatever, healing and that type of thing, and we will kind of touch on Dia de los Muertos as well, and some of the fun traditions and the history of that as well.
It'll be fun. Roman's really fun. He's really
Yes.
really fun to listen to, and I think you really would enjoy him. I wish I could listen, but I will be talking in the library. The library.
The
I'll be doing
library.
my lectures. My lectures. No, that's gonna be awesome.
Absolutely. Well, you should have somebody go along with you and Facebook Live it or something. Tape it.
Ooh, I
Yes.
could do that.
Could you?
I
Do it.
could.
Jake.
And you know
Do
what?
it.
I do have teleprompter technology.
No.
Hmm
Oh,
I
excellent.
want to be because I'm terrified right now. So just give me a chance to feel more secure after about 2 years, and then you can do that.
I mean, you're amazing when I put you on camera to do our little stand-ups.
You really are.
I stutter too much and I'm too scared.
Well, it's called post-production.
Okay, but this is live. I'm going to have to speak in front of people live.
It'll be
I can't do a
fine.
do-over. Oh, God. That's okay. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
All right, then. And next Wednesday, we have Ingrid.
Kincaid.
I don't remember the last name.
Kincaid.
But it's Kincaid, and she's written a book about runes, RUNES. So that will be a very interesting show. I think we'll have a lot of fun on it.
Mm-hmm.
Jake, will you be with us, or are you going to have to be out of town again?
I should be here next week. The week after that, probably not.
Okay.
Yes, but Ingrid Kincaid, she's in Ireland right now doing a big Celtic spiritual retreat.
How cool. I'll have to have her talk about that,
Mm-hmm.
too. That's amazing.
Yeah. She lives in Portland, too, so a Northwesterner.
Yay.
Yay. And do we have a second guest that night or no?
Not that I'm aware of. Oh, June, did you
Oh.
talk to your people, or?
I think they're going to wait until later.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, later. So they haven't got back to me on some dates. But, yes,
Okay.
we were going to talk about the permanence and the guys that are going to be doing this documentary. It's really cool. It's very cool and very well done, what I've seen so far.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
And then we just have a whole lineup of great guests coming up.
Can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be awesome. All right, guys, should we call it a night?
We should.
Let's call it a night.
I do have some music to play.
Play us some music, Jake.
It's going to be a cover tonight. It is Bad Romance, covered by Hailstorm.
Ooh.
So, so with that, let me start it up. It's starting now.
Bye, everyone.
And you guys take care. Bye.
I want your ugly, I want your disease. I want your everything as long as it's free. I want your love. Love, 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 I want your love. I want your drama, the touch of your hand. I want your leather-studded kiss in the sand. I want your love. Love, 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 I want your love. You know that I want you, and you know that I need you. I want it bad, a bad romance. I want your love and I want your revenge. You and me could write a bad romance. I want your love and all your love is revenge. You and me could write a bad romance. You're in a bad romance. I want your horror, I want your design. 'Cause you're a criminal as long as you're mine. I want your love. Love, 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 I want your love. I want your psycho, your good at the stick. Want you in my room when your baby is sick. I want your love. Love, 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 I want your love. You know that I want you, and you know that I need you. I want it bad, a bad romance. I want your love and I want your revenge. You and me could write a bad romance. I want your love and all your love is revenge. You and me could write a bad romance. You're in a bad romance. I want your love and I want your revenge. I want your love. I don't wanna be friends. Je t'en amour et je veux ton revenge. Je t'en amour. I don't wanna be friends. I don't wanna be friends. No, I don't wanna be friends. Want your bad romance. Want your bad romance. I want your love and I want your revenge. You and me could write a bad romance. I want your love and all your love is revenge. You and me could write a bad romance. What's your bad romance?